Yes, welcome back. It's that time again. No cap with Bass and Soul. What's cracking, mate?
Nothing much, mate. Penny Panthers are flying.
Mate, nothing's changed there. I mean, you think they're going to lose and then, nah, you're wrong.
Just abundance of talent, you know?
Man, another big week in footy. Talking about the Penny Panthers. I mean, Ivan Cleary came out after the game. He claimed that the referees managed the Raiders back into the game. He got fined $20,000 for it because apparently he questioned the integrity of the referees. I mean, honestly, the team won comfortably. It's not like he lost. And he didn't say it in a aggressive tone. That's what he saw. Was it over the top, honestly?
Look, as a Penrith supporter, I think who cares? Like, I'm sure Penrith paid that $20,000 fine there. I don't think he's worried about it. If we're only thinking about what Ivan Cleary's, like punishment for Ivan Cleary, it's just going to be fines. Should the NRL have stepped in there? They've got to set a precedent that you can't say anything bad about the refs. You can't question their integrity. I think refs are fair game if they make mistakes. You know, you're allowed to question, the mistakes that they've made.
Oh, really? Honestly, you can't. I actually don't think you can. You can't say anything.
You should be.
Oh, you're saying you should be allowed to?
You should be, yeah.
But I'm saying, even if you want to praise them, they'll fine you.
Well, I mean, if you're going to hold the NRL, NRL is probably the most accountable refs on earth in regards to this sport, right, and this code. I don't think any other officials hold so much accountability or get into so much drama as NRL refs, right?
I think NRL refs are the only refs you know the names of. You know what I mean? I don't know any names of any other referees around the world.
Because they stuff up so much, right?
You know what I mean?
I just think that if a player has a bad game or if he does something wrong, even if he does something wrong and the referee doesn't pick up on it, there's a match review committee there to decide what's going to happen with that player, right? However, I mean, I know we've seen it a few times this year, but past years, if a referee makes a mistake, he's not held accountable for that mistake in regards to his job. He's held accountable in the media and he gets a lot of scrutiny. I just think, having said that,
why is everyone allowed to have an opinion except for the coaches? I don't get that. Everyone can have an opinion except the coaches. But then, what do you want him to say in the press conference?
No, but look, thinking about it now,
he didn't have to say that.
No, but thinking about it now, I get why. Because they're under so much scrutiny. Everyone, whenever you talk about referees in NRL, you just think, oh, terrible, right? So everyone in Australia doesn't like the referees already. And then to have coaches say it on live TV to the public, and you're not saying that it was a bad call. He was kind of questioning their motive for the game. He's questioning, did the ref intentionally bring or was he trying to intentionally bring Canberra back into that game through penalties?
I think the thing with the refs, it's like,
if he worded it different, I don't think he would have been penalised.
Yeah.
If he had said, there were a couple of calls that shouldn't have gone against us and brought Canberra back into the game, I don't think that would have been a fine. But the fact that he said the referees managed Canberra back into the game, he specifically said that the referees have actually done that with intent. So that's the reason why I think they fined him.
Yeah, because he was praising his team because they were in a bad situation in the second half and they fought through it. You know what I mean? They had a really bad patch where everything was going against them. That's what he was saying. He was proud of that. They weathered that storm and they came through and still won comfortably. That's where that comment came into it. But people are saying it's despicable, it's disgusting, he's questioning integrity. But that's why he's appealing. Because he's appealing this. He's not copping the $20,000 fine. I don't know if he's a tight ass, but...
I think Penrith will pay it, surely.
No, he's appealing it. He's going to appeal it because he doesn't think he's questioned it. And I don't think he has either because they're saying that, he's a role model. He shouldn't say stuff like that. Kids will say that and question the refs. Parents will say, that's ever going to stop. You've been to junior footy games. How many times has the ref cop it over there? Every single time.
Every game, pretty much.
It's not fair because there are a lot of young refs out there. But don't say that it's because stuff like what Ivan said. Ivan didn't go off at him aggressively. Ivan's just, again, talking about it from a whole perspective. Subconsciously, referees bring teams back into the game.
I think we all agree on that. If somebody is winning 20-0, their referees, I think I don't think anyone can deny that, right?
No one.
You're winning 20-0. Calls are going to go against you that are probably 60-40 your way, right? Just because the referee knows your head so much.
It'll be 90-10 at one point, and then he'll bring it back to 60-40 or something. You know what I mean?
Exactly right. He could be managing he might get fined here. He could be managing the penalty count You know, if let's say Penrith had 4 penalties and Raiders only had 1, could be trying to even up the penalty count at the end of the game to try to fix it. I don't
think it does it intentionally, but I don't think refs do it intentionally.
No, it's just more like a sympathy thing, right? It's more of a
sympathy, but even they're told make it exciting, make sure the game flows, make sure it's a content. Like they tell them this stuff. It's not a secret. That's what they used to. They even used to tell them code words. Apparently, they used to tell them code words in their ear when it was getting out of hand, like they were over penalising your team. You know, you see a game where a penalty count's even 6-all, and you're like, oh yeah, he refereed that well. But there's another game he's gone 10-1. It's legitimately 10-1. The penalty count is, he's a bad ref. Well, which is wrong.
That's the thing I've disagreed with NRL entirely. Like, at the end of the day, a penalty is a penalty, right? It shouldn't matter if the penalty count is 10-1 or if the penalty count is 6-all. How many times do you see with 10 minutes to go, even though I'm against it because I wouldn't like the game to be finished that way, how many times do you see with, let's say 5 minutes left, the scores are even, it's a clear penalty, but the ref does not give it because he doesn't want to give him the easy 2 points and end the game, right?
He doesn't want the scrutiny either for something maybe that could have gone 50-50. You know what I mean? If it's not blatant, they're not going to call it, especially in that. But the other side of it, if a team's getting slapped and that team that's copping the receiving end of it and they've gotten only 1 penalty, in the last 5 minutes, it gives them 5 more penalties.
Yeah, well, that's obviously,
you know what I mean?
And so no one's going to argue that because because the other team is winning by such a big margin that no one's going to really care about that. It just so happened that Ivan Cleary, even though he was winning comfortably, commented on that aspect of the game.
I just don't think it was. I just don't think it was blatant.
I don't think you should appeal it though. I mean, you just worry about the team right now. You're going so good. No need to get into
like I said, man, 20K might be a lot to him, even though he's getting paid $1 billion. But
just take it off your son and Nathan.
Probably, man.
Nathan, come on.
That's it, man. I can't believe we're going back to this. I mean, Broncos. I keep saying I want to talk about it every week, but this week was the worst week I've ever seen in my life. It started last Tuesday, and we talked about it last Tuesday with Katoni Stags.
That's right. We thought that was the worst of it.
We thought that was the worst. And then it came out that Pangai Jr. called the chairman of the Roosters, jokingly offering his services to go play for him. I'm like, what the hell?
Well, if you're Pangai Jr., if you're in his position, would you not do that? I would. Look how terrible the club. It is.
No, I know that.
We thought their losses were an indication of how bad the club is going. Look at the last 2 weeks.
But how the hell did that come out? That's what I don't know. How the hell did that come out? I don't understand. I think then Friday they lost, obviously. And then it came out that night that their coach, Anthony Seibold, had to stay back in Sydney and breach the bubble because of a personal family matter. And then, just wait for it, the last 24 hours, it's been rampant in social media about the craziest rumours I've ever heard in my life about a coach.
I mean, if you had told me I had one guess to guess why Anthony Seibold stayed in Sydney, I would have, for the next 40 years, I would have guessed it and I still wouldn't have guessed what happened.
Mate, if it was Trent Barrett, I'd understand.
Why is that? Is he a good-looking bloke?
Mate, he's a fit bloke.
Yeah.
Anthony Seibold.
Maybe it's the voice. Yeah, darling.
Mate, I don't want to even get into it because it's just ridiculous. But today, after all that, that happened. So he breached it for personal family matter. Before all that rumour started coming out, Pangai Jr. got caught on Sunday.
What was the rumour?
We're going to come to it.
Okay.
Pangai Jr. came out on Sunday and he got done for breaching the bubble as well because he attended his mate's barbershop. Someone dobbed him in. I heard the cops dobbed him in because he was linked with a bikie organisation. I don't know what the hell that was. And then we already saw Wayne Bennett and Paul Vaughan cop it because they had breached it, but they only copped 10K, 20K fines. They come out today that they're going to sack Pangai Jr. over that.
Is it over that and the Roosters joke?
No, just that. Because he's brought the game into disrepute.
Who's going to sack him, the NRL or the Broncos?
The Broncos.
That's their decision.
That's overdone.
I know. I agree, but...
That's like looking for an excuse to get rid of him.
Well, why would you, though? He's probably one of your youngest and best talents.
Maybe it does.
But
he's going to end up playing for the Roosters with Sonny Bill for the rest of the... True or not?
There's no way they could fit him in the cap.
Yeah, 50K.
50 what?
They just get Broncos to pay the rest of the salary for the year.
Oh, then why would they release him and give it to a team that is going to benefit?
No, I'm just saying, like, I don't get... And then Anthony Seibold, obviously, those rumours that came out, I don't really want to talk about it, but it involved, you know, him doing something.
All right, I'll talk about it. So...
Okay, but is it worth talking about? Like...
Well...
I mean, if it's not... Apparently, because he's called in lawyers. He's called in lawyers today.
Okay. So he's going to have his time to speak.
No, but he's called in lawyers. He's called in the police to investigate where this rumour came from.
Okay.
But the thing is, the thing about this isn't like a normal rumor that came out. It's a joke, but this came from multiple people,
sources, yeah,
like 10 sources at least. Even in NRL 360 this tonight, they said they were getting personal text messages from everyone close to them that had no clue. They had no clue, like, to see if it was real. Like it's being concocted or put together like it's real. There's so many layers of this we got to look at the moment. To be honest,
I understand. I initially was like, let's not speak about it tonight because it is in fact rumors. But the fact that he's commented on it and he's said that he's going to bring in lawyers.
Well, he didn't deny it, did he?
That's the thing, right? I mean, why would you bring in lawyers to something that's wrong? Like, no one's got proof about it. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's all it is just messages going around social media saying of what has occurred. Nothing is factual at all. So why would you need to bring in lawyers to this situation unless you're being defensive and you're trying to make sure you're going down the best path possible so that you don't get into trouble in the media, right?
The thing I don't understand is every journalist has come out and blasted it as innuendo and it's just disgusting rumours and all that. Are the same journalists...
They don't know shit.
Are the same journalists that demanded to know what was wrong with Latrell when he was upset after a game about a personal matter. They needed to know 100% who plays for the NRL. We need to know this, that. But when it came to Seibold, they're like, you got to give him respect, show him, give him some space, blah, blah, blah. Why is there not that same energy in both cases? I'm saying you got to understand the Broncos' biggest shareholder there is News Limited. Daily Telegraph. Courier Mail. I'm just saying all those things.
Yeah.
You could think that's a part of why they don't want to say it or they don't want to bring it up.
Put it this way, right? Why are they trading Latrell Mitchell to Anthony Seibold? I just have to say 2 words: national anthem, right? I think the media I think ever since he denied to sing the national anthem, media has just latched onto that, and for them it's just money, right? They just want to make reports, make money, and that's why because they know that Latrell Mitchell's not a fan favorite amongst people that are outside South Sydney, you know. There are people that do like him outside of South Sydney, but the majority of them, you know, they're just getting really, really angry about everything that Latrell does. Doesn't matter what he does. Everything that he does, they get angry, right? We saw the same concept with Sonny Bill when he left Bulldogs, right? Everyone, doesn't matter what he did, everyone was great. Even though you see him now, everyone is starting to turn around with Sonny Bill because of, you know, they've realised over so many years that this guy's just a nice bloke. He made a mistake. He apologised. That's got to do with the Seibold and Latrell comparison. Now, in regards to all these journalists coming out saying that these rumours are rubbish, they're as credible as the people sending around these stories on social 100%. Media. The only people that know what happened are the 3 people that are involved, and I'm not. You don't want to. Well,
Seibold, obviously.
Seibold, and there's another
whoever
2.
there is, yeah.
They're the only 3 that know 100% what's going on, right? Everyone else is just going off Chinese whispers. So I don't want to hear journalists out there saying these rumors are wrong. This is right. This is wrong. You guys have no clue what's going on. You guys are going off what other people have told you, and you're using that as gospel. It's not.
And what Seibold did today doesn't clear him. No offense. I don't think it clears him whatever they've been talking about here, because he didn't bring the police in and all that to prove that it was wrong. Or he just wants to know where it came from. He wants to know where it came from, right? That's why he brought the police in and the lawyers in, right? To silence everyone. They want to find out where the source is coming from. You can't tell me 100% that all these sources, like I said, are all wrong. You can't tell me that. It's probably overdone. I think there's a thing in society where someone tells a story and then
Chinese whispers.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It gets to a point where it's completely ridiculous.
Yeah.
But there's a part of it that's got to be true, right?
Between the 3 that are in question, there is something going on there.
There has to
be. What is going on? Who knows, right? And a story doesn't just originate from nothing, right?
Of course not.
It comes from something, and it could be blown out of proportion, but it starts from somewhere. Might not be to the extent to what is out in social media.
No,
right?
of course not. But there's got to be a certain.
But there might be other narratives.
Something's wrong at the Broncos. Something's wrong. This doesn't come out of nowhere.
Only thing is
that's a ridiculous thing to come up with or make up.
Can we just say what the accusation is? So the accusation is basically being in an affair, right?
Yeah, okay, we'll say that. Yeah, that's fair enough.
He's had an affair with a third party, right? And
his players are involved in this.
And there's players that are involved in this, right?
Yeah.
I don't... To Seibold's credit, he might be a great liar or a serial killer or who knows, but he does not look like somebody that would do this. Do you know what I mean?
That's what I was saying. That's what I was saying before. You can understand if it's Trent Barrett.
Yeah, I thought you were coming in aspect of, which girl would go after him.
Which girl would go after this bloke?
Oh, I mean, come on, man.
The bloke's 50. He's got 4 kids.
Like, you've seen prawns in this area, guys that have got the worst head in the world, and there's girls that are with them.
Bro,
I don't think there's a shortage of.
I don't know. I'm not sorry. I'm not one to question. That's it. Fair enough. Fair enough. Go.
Any man with power or with money oozes that kind of attention from not just females, males too, right? So I don't question whether the girl might be interested, but I just didn't think that was him as a person. You know what I mean? He just seemed like such a shout out to the Bland family. Such a bland person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And yeah, it was just when I read that, I was just like, I don't know about this.
No, it doesn't sound too crazy to be true.
I started
too
seeing
crazy.
More and more and more. I'm like, hold on. And then he calls his lawyers, and I'm just like, now don't get me wrong, he should call his lawyers, but that shouldn't have, for me, that shouldn't have been the first thing we heard about in this situation.
No, as if you don't come out and blatantly deny it. Like,
right?
As if you wouldn't come out and deny it straight away.
Especially when there's players involved too.
Come on, man. And the players are, like, I'm talking about from a football sense, the players are playing the worst football of their careers. There's no chemistry at the team. They lose every game. Bulldogs doesn't count as a win. I don't care. All right, because they were crap.
Mm-hmm.
There's players leaving, players wanting to leave, players... Like, people think that Pangai did that on purpose, like the breaking the COVID bubble. He did that because he's trying to get sacked because he wants to get the hell out of there. It's not normal. You know what I mean? That's not normal. What's going on at Brisbane is not normal for a club of that stature. That's the most apparently well-run club in the game. And the most powerful club in the game.
Mm.
It's just very weird, man. It's very weird. And I hate the fact that the media are playing like the good guys now. We're not going to go near him. We're going to... Like, now they're the holy, the holy riders, bro. They don't put a foot wrong. They never dig into crap like this. They do it every single day about people they don't like. True or not?
Yeah, 100%. Obviously, every media outlet's got agendas. They've got reasons to go after people, reasons not to go after people. It's just in this scenario, who knows? Maybe Seibold's really close with some big executives that...
Look, the thing with the Broncos...
And again, like you said, News Limited.
The thing with the Broncos, they never want to admit they're wrong. They never want to admit whatever decision they make, they're wrong because they're too proud of a club. So they never want to look like their organisation is being run, poorly. They never want to look like they've ever made a bad decision. Surely they understand now that they're in a completely different atmosphere, stratosphere, whatever the hell you want to say, where everyone knows he's in a crap situation right now. Just admit it. Just admit that the club's in a bad situation. The CEO's leaving. Just flick off. Yeah, you got Ben Eichen, 4 Eyes, coming in. He's already come in and admitted that he put in an application. I think he's the only one that put in an application.
What's going to happen with NRL 360?
News Limited gave him the all clear to go and do this. So there you go. There's a, what do they call it?
Conflict of interest.
That's the one. Big conflict of interest there.
Yeah, I don't know, man. The Broncos...
He wants Cam Smith.
Oh.
He goes, I'll go after Cam Smith. I don't know. Listen, I'm sick of talking about these guys. Good luck to them. Good luck to everyone involved. I have no ill feeling towards anyone. But again, like I said, they're trying to act like there's nothing wrong, and there's clearly something wrong
just
there.
Say it. Media, shut up.
No, media are just disgraceful. They're disgraceful. They want to call everyone else, other people, disgraceful. They want to call Ivan Cleary disgraceful. They want to call Latrell disgraceful. They want to call all these. Shut the hell up. Use a disgraceful media. Paul Kent, James Hooper. I'm calling you out. Let's move on to the weekend's games, please.
I think you just unfollowed James Hooper on Twitter there, didn't you?
Buzz Rothfields. The list goes on. Paul Crawley.
You know who the GOAT is?
Who's it?
Michael Ennis. Tank.
Yeah, he's a former player. Does he count?
Oh, Vossi. Good old Voss.
Voss is good, man.
Yeah, all right, bro.
Thursday night, Roosters Storm.
What a game.
The big clash. I know I should have left it to last, but that is match of the round, whether anyone likes it or not. Storm have no Cam Smith, no Cam Munster, and Josh Morris comes back for the Roosters.
Pappenhausen back, yep.
Yeah, Puppy is back.
Dal Finucane's
Pappen
back.
fresh. This is going to be an interesting game.
Yeah, look, Melbourne surprised me last week. I thought Bulldogs. I tipped Melbourne, but I thought Bulldogs were gonna sneak a victory and put it in a performance like they did against Parramatta. But credit to Melbourne. The Fox, wow, he changed their game pretty much by himself with that intercept.
Bulldogs gave him the game pretty much. Let's be honest.
Bulldogs were playing all right in the first 10, 15 minutes, and then that intercept that Fox took would pretty much just, even though it was the first try of the game, just destroyed their spirit. Roosters haven't been playing well too.
But Roosters have been getting the job done, and they're very underdone. They're still missing Brett Morris, Boyd Cordner, Jared Roy-Hargraves, Angus Crichton.
You've convinced me. I'm going to the Storms.
I think.
I
think we're under. Look, I know they played really good against the Bulldogs, but that's the Bulldogs at the end of the day. I think we're under.
But you've got to. So the way that I'm looking at it this season is, no matter if I think Roosters will probably win this, right? Just because of their Roosters right now, right? However, I don't reward teams that have been playing terrible. Like, they've not been playing well the last couple of weeks. They've been getting the job done against teams that they should be putting away. Do you know what I mean? If we go back, last week they versed the Dragons, won by 8 points.
They had a lot of players out, and they're still getting the job done.
The week before, Titans won by 6 points. The week before that, I know Warriors have been better, but Warriors 8 points. The week before that, they lost to Canberra. I can go on and on.
I agree. They haven't been convincing lately.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think they would probably edge the victory away, but this year I've just been tipping by who I think has shown previously that they are showing better road down the track, and I think Roosters of the last couple of weeks they've been too iffy.
I think Melbourne, but they've lost their two playmakers, Cam Smith, Cam Munster. Who's going to really take charge
here? Isn't he back? Oh, he got injured again, didn't he?
He got injured last week. That's what I'm saying. So it's a very tough. And, Roosters still got Teddy, Keary, Jake Friend. But again, they've still got them, most of their... Well, technically they got Flanagan, but they've dropped him from last week. They've got Lachlan Lehman there still. But
isn't that Craig Bellamy's specialty?
No, of course. But I just think the Roosters, Keary, especially with what happened last game, probably game of the year thus far. And it's at the Sydney Cricket Ground, and they're not really good at the Sydney Cricket Ground, Melbourne. It's a completely different oval. So it's not normal. I don't know. I just don't think. I just don't think it'll be close, but I just don't think Melbourne's going to have enough class, or they don't have anyone that can guide them to that victory, because it's going to be a close game. Anyway, I'll go Roosters. You going Storm?
Yeah, we're going to stick with Melbourne.
Let's move on. Friday 6 p.m. Warriors Panthers at Central Coast. Warriors been on a really good winning run, but so have the Panthers. Caleb Aikens is still in there.
Warriors playing 650.
Look, they're unchanged, but like you said, Dylan Edwards is on the reserve, so he might come in. And Jack Hetherington, who is a Penrith loan player.
He's out, isn't he?
He's out, but he wasn't going to play regardless of being suspended or not.
I don't know why they loaned him, eh? He's a good player.
Very good player, but how's he going to crack this team,
Well...
It's tough. They've got a lot of good players, Penrith.
It's not something but you don't want to be, especially in a year that you're contending, you don't want to be giving out players, you know what I mean?
Oh, look, they're just helping out, especially the Warriors, like with what's going on there.
Yeah, look.
But they probably have a deal where if they've got injuries, we need him back. Yeah. I think that's the thing.
Well, it'll be interesting. The Warriors are not making finals, so...
they can. They can. Hey, they can.
All right. If Warriors don't make the finals, are they allowed to recall him and him be able to play in the finals?
Probably, yeah.
Because that'll be
probably. Why wouldn't they?
No, I mean, by NRL, don't you have to play a certain amount of games to play in the finals?
We would have played those games, but not with Penrith. You mean? Yeah, I don't know. It's a bit different this year with what's going on. Yeah. They've never done loaning plays before.
Yeah. Well, look, if we're gonna just move on to the game, I think Dylan Edwards won't play. I think he'll rest him this week again, just to make sure, because we're getting into the later stages of the competition, and you want to have him fully fit, no niggling injuries for the finals. So I think he'll keep Caleb Aikens there. Tyrone May's been outstanding in attack for Penrith. He's slotted into that Dylan Edwards role like I was telling you last week. And, he's really helping the attack for the Penrith while Edwards is out. So I don't think there's a big rush to put him in there. Who do I have for this game? I've got Penrith.
Shocker. Absolute shocker.
They're coming first.
I'm going Penrith too.
Yeah,
I'm going Penrith too. Just relax. Hold your horses, mate. Yeah. Eels Dragons after that on Friday night at Bankwest. Ryan Madison comes back in for the Parramatta Eels, and Corey Norman's been recalled for the Dragons. Parramatta.
Where was he?
He got dropped last week. Corey Norman.
I thought you said recall as in he was on loan.
No, he was dropped, but they've put him back in the team. Moved Ben Hunt back to dummy half and whatever.
I don't get why teams do that. Is it just like a kick up the arse saying, "Oh, you've been playing terrible, so have a week off"?
I think the coach, Paul McGregor, is just. I think it's a lost cause. I think he's about to be. He won't be there next year, so he's just trying anything at this point. Parramatta, they get Ryan Madison back. They had a sloppy win against the Sharks in pretty
terrible
bad conditions.
Yeah.
Dylan Brown stepped up as usual. The best player on that team. Yeah, Parramatta's going to win this.
Yeah, Parramatta.
Sharks Titans Saturday afternoon 3 p.m. at again Cogra. I don't know why they're not playing at Cronulla. Titans have pretty impressive last week.
I'm actually looking at this. I can't believe they're $3.75.
Very impressive.
I thought they'll be about $2.20.
They're unchanged, and the Sharks bring back Jack Williams into the team. So yeah, this is going to be a good game. This will probably be I think it might be a high scoring game if it's sunny.
Well, I looked at the forecast for the weekend, and it's supposed to be raining. So that's fun.
Then
look, I know the Titans have been playing well the last couple of weeks, and they've cost me a few tips. But the way the Sharks played against Parramatta,
they scored more tries.
Are we just gonna knock that off to they handled the terrible conditions better than not better, but they handled the weather conditions better than we expected them to handle.
But it's a toss of a coin in those conditions, right? I think Sharks, they scored more tries than them. They scored 3 tries, but they couldn't kick a goal. If they kicked the goal, they would have won. So that was their issue. So, yeah, I think they'll beat the Titans. I think the Titans, they're playing well. They're gelling well now. But Sharks have been on a pretty good run. And they showed something against Parramatta, I think. Going Sharks?
Yeah, I'll probably go Sharks too, actually. I don't know. I hate inconsistent teams, man.
That's footy, mate. That's the NRL. Cowboys, Rabbitohs up at North Queensland.
Oh, Cowboys, another inconsistent team. Great.
Saturday, 5:30. The thing every team has a problem with, or they're always going to deal with, is they have to fly to North Queensland on the day. So that takes a lot out of...
fly back home on the day too.
Yeah, so that takes a lot out of a team. And obviously the stronger teams handled it pretty well, like a Canberra and Roosters. Rabbitohs, they're like in between. They're not obviously not bad, but they're not the best team.
Yeah.
So again, I don't know how they're going to go about it. Scott Drinkwater comes back in for the Cowboys, and Jaden Stewart comes back in for the Rabbitohs.
Rabbitohs. I mean, if Cowboys win, it's because they've decided to play.
You can never tell with them. Honestly, never ever tell with the Cowboys. Yeah, I got to get Rabbitohs. Yeah. Honestly, I got to get Rabbitohs as well. Pretty big game. Raiders, Broncos for the Raiders, I think, to try and get that top 4 spot.
They have to win this, surely.
Surely they're going to win this easily at Canberra, Saturday night in the cold. I mean, Raiders unchanged. Havili's still in the team. Pangai's out for the Broncos. Yeah, Canberra, but surely easily by 13 plus.
Has to be,
right?
Yeah.
Knights Eagles Sunday afternoon, 2 p.m. at Newcastle.
This is another inconsistent team of the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, but they demolished the Tigers last week. They got right back into form.
I tipped the Tigers.
Me too. Daniel Saifiri comes back from injury, which helps them a lot. And Seagulls, couple of changes. Adafano Blake's out. Marty Tapau is in doubt. Sirinen and Thompson return from injury. Brad Parker's back in.
This is a toss-up, man.
So, yeah, again, Manly, unfortunately, they're still in a bit of an injury rut.
Mm-hmm.
And surely the Knights at Newcastle after last week, they'll go on with it because they need to solidify a top 8 spot.
Yeah, you have to go with the Knights there just because, I mean, Manly got Siren and Thompson back, but lost Fanua Blake.
It's unfortunate.
Still don't have Tomo.
It's unfortunate they don't have Tom because it completely changes that team. Just that threat of him at the back takes a lot of pressure off everyone else in that team, you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. Match of the round, I think.
Last game. Tigers, Bulldogs. Two really poor teams from last week.
I am definitely not watching this game.
Jacob Little comes back in for his first game since last year.
Starting.
The Bulldogs welcome back Kerrod Holland because of Jake Averilla's injury. And Jack Cogger comes in for Lachlan Lewis.
And Remus Smith's on the bench. So are you telling me that the best thing that the Bulldogs can conjure when Averillo is injured is Kerrod Holland?
He must have something in his contract where he has to play a certain amount of games starting for the Dogs every year. Honestly, this is a toss-up for me, man.
No way. Not when I see...
After what the Tigers threw up last
Holland.
week. Look, I get what you're saying. But, man, that was poor from the Tigers last week, eh?
It was poor from the Bulldogs last week too.
But they were versing the Storm. It's different.
Without Keane Smith and Pappenhausen.
But what I'm saying is when you're the Tigers and you're versing the Knights and you're on pretty much the edge of the 8 and you're trying to solidify a place for the finals, one's chances went through the roof to get into the 8 and Tigers don't even look like they're going to get there anymore. They've stuffed my bold prediction.
They'll have to show
Surely
up
this is a team.
week.
Surely this is a...
But they'll have to show up this week to get into that top 8.
You don't think the Dogs could show some form again? I think they can show form again against a team like that.
They can, obviously. However, I'm not going to reward the Bulldogs with my tip when you put Kerrod Holland as your starting center. Come on, man. Surely, I am not crazy.
I'm with you. I don't know. I'm with you. I don't know why he's playing. I don't understand why he's still in the team. I don't get it.
It astounds me. Surely, and they bought Tim. They got Tim Laffey, right? So that's an extra center that you've had, and that's the best you can still conjure.
Surely you could put Remus Smith there.
Why is Remus Smith on the bench? What has he done in it must be an attitude thing with Remus Smith because a lot of coaches have benched, or not a lot, Pay and now this guy have benched him, right?
But his talent's unbelievable.
I know his talent's ridiculous. That's why I'm questioning why are they benching him? Is it must be like a attitude thing, right? Where he's just mucking up in training and they're punishing him.
But then they wouldn't play him, right?
That's what I'm thinking. But you don't need to be a rocket scientist to know that Smith and Kerrod Holland are not in the same league.
They got three forwards in the reserves. Surely stack the bench with forwards.
I thought we saw good signs when he benched Tolman last week. I was like, oh, here we go. We're going in the right direction. And then he goes and starts Holland.
Again, he must have pictures of Steve Georgeillawaradragons now, honestly.
What's with all these coaches getting pictures?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Holland's phone.
There's something. I don't know. He's got something. It's
highway robbery.
He's a shifty fella.
I can't believe I have to go to work every single day.
Shifty fella.
And Kerrod Holland gets paid to play rugby league. I can't believe that.
And Tolman. Why is he still playing? We should come up with a list. We should come up with a list next week of players. I can't believe these guy gets paid.
It's actually ridiculous.
We're gonna come up with one next week.
Tolman was a decent player in his prime, a decent player, right? And they're just paying their dues and everything. Kerrod Holland has never been a decent player.
That's one. Kerrod Holland is on our list next week, and don't ruin for the rest of for our fans. The rest of it, we're gonna reveal it.
The rest. We'll
reveal it next week.
Really angry tonight and just.
So, thanks for joining us.
Did you just say the King's name?
No, I didn't say his name. Thank you for joining us this week again, Bass. You're a trooper, mate. You're a legend.
Cheers, bud. I would like to send. Well, first of all, I'd like to send our condolences to all the people in Lebanon.
Of course.
Yeah, it's tragic what happened over there. We both come from Lebanese backgrounds, so we can, we know not firsthand, but we know through family over there what's going on over there.
Yeah, friends as well.
Yeah, stay strong. Thankfully, there's countries all around the world coming and helping Lebanon through the aid of Red Cross and all that kind of stuff, and there's a lot of rescue teams out there looking for people under all that rubble.
It was great to see the NRL acknowledge it as well on the weekend.
Yeah,
1 minute silence. That was awesome.
Don't know why they stopped after the first game on Saturday afternoon. That was a bit iffy for me, but I'll accept they probably had their reasons for it. But yeah, everyone in Lebanon, stay strong, man. We all have you in our prayers. And yeah, I'd also like to send my condolences to our cameraman today. That's why we're not recorded.
Zach.
Big Zach.
Stuck in a meeting. He's a businessman.
He's a businessman, apparently. Too busy for us. But yeah, Sol, it's a pleasure.
Well said, Abbas. Appreciate those sentiments. And hey, we'll see you next week, as always. Thank you.